Spring arrived like a gentle whisper, a quiet promise of renewal. After months of feeling like the world was in black and white, Anna finally started to see the colors again. Walking through the park, with sunlight warming her face and the scent of wet earth and wildflowers in the air, she felt a shift. It was the simple things, the sound of kids laughing, the crunch of gravel under her feet, the steady, unstoppable rhythm of life. She didn't know exactly when it happened, but one day she realized the thought of him no longer brought a sharp, stabbing pain. The ache had softened into a scar, and scars, she was learning, were just proof that you had survived. Her best friend, Maya, had been her rock. The phone calls, the check-ins, the patient listening without a hint of judgment, it all mattered. One Friday evening, Maya appeared at her door, holding 2 bottles of wine and wearing a mischievous grin. "That's enough solitude," she declared. "You're coming out tonight." Anna laughed, shaking her head. "I'm not ready for people." Maya just rolled her eyes. "It's not a circus. It's just dinner. Good food, music, and friends who won't even say his name. I promise." Anna hesitated, but the warmth in Maya's eyes was convincing. She finally nodded. "Fine. But I am not staying out late." The restaurant buzzed with life. Laughter and music filled the warm, crowded space. At first, Anna felt out of place, clutching her wine glass like a shield. But as the evening wore on, something inside her began to thaw. She found herself laughing a real, genuine laugh that seemed to come from a place she'd forgotten existed. It felt like using a muscle she hadn't flexed in ages. Leaning in close, Maya whispered, "See, I told you, you're glowing again." Anna smiled, a real smile this time. "Maybe I just forgot what it feels like to breathe." That night, she went home with her cheeks sore from smiling, her heart feeling impossibly light. She realized that happiness wasn't something she needed to wait for or ask permission for. It was hers to create. The months that followed were a quiet miracle. Anna poured her energy into her work at a small marketing firm. Before, she had been overlooked, told she was too soft for bigger roles. But something had changed. A new, calm confidence radiated from her. A quiet fire burned in her eyes. When she spoke in meetings, her voice was steady, and people listened. The projects she led didn't just succeed, they thrived. One afternoon, her boss called her into his office. She braced herself for criticism, but instead, he offered her a promotion. This time, there were no tears of relief, just a proud, steady smile. That night, she celebrated by herself. She cooked her favorite meal, played her favorite music, and toasted to her own success. The woman who once defined herself by someone else's love was now celebrating her own victories, with no audience needed. Of course, healing isn't a straight line. There were still hard nights when loneliness would creep in, whispering old doubts into the quiet corners of her apartment. But now, instead of running from the feeling, she learned to sit with it. She'd light a candle, make a cup of tea, and gently ask herself, "What do you need right now?" Sometimes, the answer was just rest. Other times, it was a good cry, or losing herself in a silly movie. The point was, it was her choice. It was her need to answer, not a void waiting for someone else to fill. One morning, standing in line for coffee, she heard a voice that made her heart do a tiny, familiar flip. "Anna!" She turned. It was Ethan. He looked mostly the same, maybe a little more tired around the eyes. His smile wavered when he saw her. "Wow," he said. "You look different." She tilted her head, a small smile playing on her lips. "I guess peace looks good on me." He let out an awkward laugh. You look amazing. How have you been? I've been good, she replied, and the simple truth of it resonated in her own ears. A heavy silence stretched between them, thick with all the words left unsaid. He shifted his weight, looking uncomfortable. Listen, he started. I just wanted to say, I'm sorry for everything. The old Anna would have dissected his words, searched his eyes for a sign of true remorse, for something to cling to, but the woman standing there now didn't need it. I know, she said, her voice soft but firm, and I forgive you. But not for you. For me. He looked confused. Are you seeing someone? She gave a faint, knowing smile. Yes, I'm seeing myself, clearly, for the first time. As she walked away, her hands were steady. Her heart was calm. There was no pain, no echo of longing. There was only peace. Ethan watched her go, a slow, dawning realization on his face. He hadn't just lost her love. He'd lost the version of her who would have waited, who would have begged, who would have broken for him. That night, for the first time in years, Anna painted. On the canvas, a figure of a woman stood tall, her back to a fading past, her face turned toward a brilliant sunrise, and underneath, in shimmering gold paint, she wrote a single line. The message that broke me became the moment that built me. Her story wasn't about finding a new love or getting revenge. It was about something quieter, yet so much more powerful. Strength, self-respect, and a deep, unshakable peace. The truth was simple. Ethan had taught her how fragile love could be, but losing him taught her just how unbreakable she was. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please give it a like and subscribe for more content on healing and finding your own strength. Remember, you are enough. See you next time.